Very true. All right, so we're going live again, and Harley's saying, well, what's going on here? So I'm back again, ladies and gentlemen. Did you miss me? I hope so. Now, look, bottom line is we had a bit of a snafu. We just worked out that when someone else logs into my account while I'm in my account, my technology doesn't like it. So I've just had a word with Harley. I said, fix it, Harley. And Harley agreed, and we're on the case. Now, again, Ian Marsh here, looking very professional right now. But I am here with a very, very serious reason and some very, very helpful information for those of you in business that are looking for answers, solutions, and ways to make your business work better. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, there's two things that I want to be covering off on tonight. One of them is I want to talk to you about leverage. I want to talk to you about how to gain leverage and why many people don't have the leverage that they should and why that's costing them a lot in probably life and in finances and in business stress. Secondly, we have a question of the week. And so I shall bring that up, ladies and gentlemen, here. And I think we will be great now, Brooke. Thank you very much. But keep an eye out on the actual digitalis. Now, I'm bringing up a PowerPoint, ladies and gentlemen, that I painstakingly put together for you. And for those of you that haven't joined me before and watched my technical lack of skill, you're in for a treat because I haven't disappointed you. So what I'm going to be doing over the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to be covering off on these two areas. One, I want to talk to you about leverage, and I want to make you aware of what happens with a lot of businesses out there. I'm not saying yours, but I say a lot of them that I work with. And secondly, I want to talk to you about a question of the week. Again, if you want to put a question in, feel free, and I'm here to help. So we're going to be giving you information that quite honestly will help you speed up the success of your company by a factor of 10 if you apply it. Is that an exaggeration? No. How do I know that? Well, because I've done it over and over and over again in each of my organizations, and it's regular as clockwork. And all you need to do is overcome one simple thing and success. I mean, quite seriously, you have more money coming to you than you ever thought existed in the universe. I was shocked. And every time I do this and every time I apply it in my company, sure enough, similar results sort of happen. So I'm going to reach out to you and speak to that and how that occurs. But before I do, Richard P sent a question in. Now, I don't know if you can see my screen. In fact, there's probably a very good chance that you can't. So let me see if I can resolve that issue right now. And I will bring up the PowerPoint so you can see what I am showing to you, and it will all make more sense. So Richard P asked me a question, and that question of the week was, can you give some advice on how to get funding for my up? Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. How about if I move my video here for my startup? How can I get investors to invest in my business idea? Now, Richard, understand that there are so many individuals out there. There's probably not a week goes by that I don't have somebody telling me they've got a wonderful idea and that they can make me rich. I said, well, I'm already rich. And so there's a lot of people with a great idea. However, the bigger question is, how big is your commitment to the idea and how valid do you believe that business model is? And I'm going to take you back to a few key examples. One would be Jack Ma from Alibaba. If you don't know his story, I urge you to check it out. I mean, he got knocked back from Kentucky Fried Chicken, for Pete's sake. They wouldn't give him an opportunity to work there. He got knocked back as a policeman. He got knocked back from university, and not once, not twice. I believe it was about 5 or 6 times. Now, because he believed in what he was doing, the result was that he finally succeeded in creating Alibaba, which everyone knows today is just such a massive success. They've even gotten into movies these days. So tick one is how serious about wanting to succeed with this business idea that you have. Number two is when you have that passion, other investors, other people will be aware that you are serious, that you believe in your model, and you're not going to give up at the first obstacle that stands in your way. Because I'll tell you, the majority of times, It's not a lack of money that prevents people from succeeding. It's just a lack of commitment. So, you look at stories like Colonel Sanders and even Michael, I was going to say, let me think, trying to think now. Okay, the McDonald's, founder of McDonald's, well, the actual franchise, not the McDonald's brothers. You have a look at those individuals. They did not give up. They kept going. So again, Richard P., I know that's not your answer. Now, there's another couple of answers that I'm going to build on here with you, because when I answer these questions of the week, I want them to be practical and I want them to be helpful so that you can do something with the knowledge. So what I'd urge you to do is, if you believe that your business model is great, and if you're willing to put everything that you have into making this sucker succeed, again, as I said, other investors will be willing to watch you and back you if they can see the passion that you have. But where are these people? Where do they hang out? The question is obviously a very valid one, and let me answer it for you. So this is where marketing comes into play. All right. Now, there's a few things you can do. Now, you probably would have heard of crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. So obviously you can put your idea up and get it crowdfunded. There's a lot of, well, there's positives and there's a lot of negatives in that strategy, but it is a strategy for you. One thing I will urge you to do is do not get friends and family to invest in your wonderful idea that's just the best thing since sliced bread. I went down that track many years ago and I nearly lost my mother's home. Now, you think about it, if you get your parents to invest or really close friends, imagine if the thing does go belly up. What happens with your relationship? Now, I came within that hair's whisker. Luckily, I worked night and day and night, and I managed to save my mother's house, but I'll tell you, it was a close call. So do not get your close friends and family to invest with you would be my strongest advice. I would never wish that on anyone again after what I went through. Now, here's the other strategy for you, and this is where being street smart comes into play. Now, I do not know what your idea is. I'm guessing you keep it close to your heart and hold your cards close to your chest. But let's just say that it has something to do with the building industry, okay? Well, ask yourself the question, who has your client before you do? Now, if you had this amazing technology to construct a building with a new prototype of building material that knocks 20 or 30% off the labor costs, and the material is so light but still stronger than anything we're using today that it makes the construction process so much easier. If you just put that solution to developers that need to build these suckers, then you can put a preponderance of proof to them that your idea actually works. Believe me, you will get flooded with funds. Okay, so again, I'm saying to you, it is how committed are you, how serious are you about your success? And if you're that serious, use that strategy, use that idea, that marketing idea, and apply it in the niche that you have your idea. I do hope that helps, mate. And I do hope that it pans out for you. Give me a note. Tell me if you kick a goal. But again, so summary, try crowdsourcing, crowdfunding perhaps. Now, you can get angel investors as well. And it's, how do you find them? Well, it's quite easy. Just type it into the internet and you'll find a number of them. But beware, they are sharks and they want a pound of flesh. All right. What I would suggest is that you go and find the client that can benefit mostly from your solution and just put a story to them so compelling, such a preponderance of proof that your solution is the best thing since sliced bread, they got no option but to back you. Okay? All right. So let's keep moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting the momentum happening. Now, you know what hasn't happened as yet? And I want Richard to be listening to this as well, because Street Smart Business Solutions would not be Street Smart Business Solutions without this intro that I know all of you wait for every time I come. So here we go. It's your life, it's now or never. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get a phone call one day. Having said that, I do have a license, an APRA license. But so copyright reasons, I believe you're safe up to 30 seconds playing a commercial song. Don't quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. But it is your life. Why do I play this every time I start Street Smart Business Solutions? Because I see too many individuals forget that it is their life and they get ruled by other people and they live other people's lives instead of their own. So again, remember, what do you want out of life? Get serious about it and let's go after it, which is exactly what we're going to be covering off on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So let us proceed. Now, if you do not mind me digressing, I'm going to throw to my beautiful daughter and ask her if the TV show is coming through loud and clear. Is it coming up on your screen there, dear?
Yes.
It is. Fantastic. You see, my daughter was logging into my account as I was trying to get it up today. And sadly, I couldn't get it up because my daughter, was logging into my account as I'm trying to hit the go and get things rolling. So now we're rolling because we haven't logged in twice. Anyway, let's not digress, shall we? Let me talk about the main topic tonight, which is how to speed up your success in your business by a factor of 10. Is this a throwaway line? Is this just another marketing headline by some copywriter? Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. You tell me, you be the judge. Make sure you put comments down. Make sure you tell me what you think of the information. Like me, follow me, let me know you exist and you're out there. I do get good feedback from you guys, but it's just great to see these comments. So that being said, how do we get an increase in success by factor of 10? It's quite simple. What we need to do is find a way to get more leverage in our business, okay? And you think about it. What did you do? Think about the last week. Where did you spend your time? What things were you doing? Now, if you're honest with yourself, are there certain tasks and certain things that you shouldn't have done that you could have actually gotten other people to do while you focused on more important things? Well, the answer is probably yes, all right? And so, again, the reason we're all gathered here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is so we can become more street smart instead of sheep smart. And so often we can get diverted into doing things that are not really the right things that we should be doing. They're not what gives us the biggest returns on our time. So increasing your success by a factor of 10 by using leverage. What does this mean? Will you stop being so cryptic, Ian? All right, if you insist. Let me talk about a typical business owner. This is someone that we sort of see when they first come into the world of Street Smart Business School. They're all excited, they're revving to go, and they're going to work sun up to sundown. They're going to make a little success of their life and they're going to work towards getting a great income. They know that it'll come in the future and they're going to give it everything that they've got. And they'll be unpacking boxes with the team and they'll be cleaning and sweeping floors and doing God knows what. And, you know, one of the reasons they're doing it is they're starting up in business is perhaps they're worried about the staff thinking poorly of them if they're doing other work. Heaven forbid that they're doing strategic work rather than rolling their sleeves up and moving boxes. But again, guys, how many of you that own your own business spend a lot of your time doing the work, moving the boxes, doing the whacking and cracking in your business? So, for example, me in a past life, I was an electrician, I was a refrigeration and mechanic. And when I first started out, I was sheep smart. I was out there and I was going up in the roofs and I was pulling the cables and I was installing the air conditioning, spending all my time working sun up to sundown. I was working hard, but was I making any money? Was I growing? Was I creating a business, or did I just have a glorified job? Well, I think you all know the answer to that. I had a glorified job. And I was doing that from the age of 25 until the age, probably, was it 25? Probably about even 20, I think. Doing it from around the age of maybe 20 to 35, around about 12 to 15 years, 23. We'll call it, we'll meet it halfway and say around 23. Now, at the age of 35, I actually started to become street smart. I actually discovered that there's a better way for you to be in business, for you to get leverage, for you to actually get the money that you're looking for, have the lifestyle you're looking for, and create a business instead of a job. Now, when you're out there and you're loading trucks, many reasons you're doing it, if you are the owner, is you go, well, man, I can't afford another person to do that. fair enough, I hear you. Where am I going to find that extra $25 or $30 an hour? Again, or I might as well save that $25 or $30 an hour by doing it myself, because why should I have to pay somebody else to do it? It just increases the overheads, and we've got the work cover, and we've got all that. So all of these things I understand. However, have a look at this poor person. See, this is the guy that you're looking at. That's the same guy that's down there, the boss. Okay, let me highlight him if you're not sure who the boss is. Okay, this is the guy that owns the business right here. But because he's working in the business, and he's working from, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning, probably the first person to get in there, till 8:30 at night. Sadly, there are a lot of other things that he hasn't managed to do because he's busy moving the boxes. Who's with me on this? Who understands where I'm coming from? So now this poor person, and I need to work out how to clear, isn't this funny, daughter? I need to work out how to clear that red mark. Clear all drawing. He had lots of work when he was there unloading the boxes. And he thought, oh, man, working sun up to sundown, well, I guess I'll finally get ahead of the debts and I'll finally have more money than at the end of the week. However, he was in for a rude awakening, because while he's actually doing all this work and moving those crates and thinking that he's doing the right thing in his business, all of a sudden he finds that there's no more work coming in. There's no more stuff happening. There's no business. Oh, my goodness, the stress cuts in. We go, what are we going to do, man? We've got no work. I don't know. How many of you out there can relate to this, where you're in business, you got to roll your sleeves up because all of a sudden you got these big projects or big jobs, they're all happening, and then you got to stop everything else because you got to pitch in and get the job done. I get that, and you do have to. The buck stops with you, ladies and gentlemen. But when you do that, what else suffers when you get out there and you start unloading the boxes? Well, I know it's not fair. Life sucks sometimes. I hear you. You know, you're working so hard. Why can't I have a business that works like other people when I see their businesses working? Oh, well, it's just, I don't know, life stinks. I'll go and eat some worms. I hear you. But see, business doesn't have a conscience. Money doesn't have a conscience. And bottom line is, if you do not start operating in a street smart manner, your competitors are going to out-strategize you, and they will create a business and you will still have a job. I'm sure you guys don't want that, and that's why you're here tonight. So while you're loading your vans, what happened to the marketing so that you can get more leads coming into your organization? Okay, you think about it. While you're unloading those boxes, you're saving maybe $30, $40 an hour perhaps. However, couldn't you have been strategizing and putting together a marketing campaign so that you could be getting 5, 10, 20 more leads coming in while those people are unloading those boxes? And how many of you out there might be feeling a little bit guilty because you're doing some, I don't know if they refer to it as white collar work instead of rolling your sleeves up and doing the hard yakka? Well, it's all hard yakka, guys and girls. And don't start having those thoughts in your head that, you know, those guys out there are working their butts off, because you're working your butt off in here, but you're working strategically. And what about the sales? Because if you're moving boxes, even though chances are you're the best salesperson in the company, most entrepreneurs are, how are you able to do the sales and get more deals when you're busy unloading boxes? And while you're busy unloading boxes, how do you know that your staff out there are doing a good job when they're going and doing the installations or delivering on the promises that your company made? What about your bookkeeping as well? So how are you able to keep a close eye on expenses and get the best pricing from your suppliers and know that you're getting the highest efficiency from your organization when, again, you're there and you're unloading boxes from the van? And how long have you been doing what you've been doing? You know, I don't know. When was the last time someone came up and said, hey, Ian, what's old? No, they don't come up and say to you, what's old? What do they say? Say, Ian, what's new? Everyone wants to know what's new. But if you're busy unloading the boxes out of the back of the van, how are you able to keep innovating, staying on the cutting edge, knowing the latest sales, marketing strategies, and also how to improve your solution to your market? How are you able to keep an eye on the competitors and see what they're doing? I don't know. It's going to be pretty hard. You're more talented than I, because I couldn't do it. And how about your management systems? Okay, so again, if you're busy unloading those boxes and you want to save that $20 or $30 an hour by not employing that staff member to do that, how are you able to set targets for your team? How are you able to measure the efficiency? And how are you able to hold your team accountable? Well, you know, we get the same amount of hours in the day as Rupert Murdoch, Donald Trump, Packer, and yet they seem to get an awful lot done compared to us. How do they do that? Well, again, the answer is leverage, is it not? Of course it is. So when you understand this and you realize that, hey, that's false economy. Yes, mentally I understand that I should be getting someone else to do that while I work on the higher rewarding tasks that I know I should be doing. That's when you really start to build a business. Now, the things that I'm covering off on, if some of you have been in business for a while, they refer to it as Thinking Hats. Now, this is a great book if you want to get it, if you like reading, and you can also get it on Audible. 6 Thinking Hats. Check it out. But bottom line is you know deep down that you shouldn't be doing a lot of the things that you're doing, don't you? Do you know that? I'm sure you do know that. Who knows that? Will you confess? How honest are you? How many of you out there are going to be honest enough to say, yes, Ian, I know that I'm doing a lot of things that I know I shouldn't be doing? Well, my question to you is, why are you doing the things that you know you shouldn't be doing? And I'm going to get to the answer in a minute. Okay, but before I do, again, there's another book. So you got 6 Thinking Hats. You've also got The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Very, very smart cookie. Okay. And also The 40-Hour Work Year. You might want to check that one out. Any of those into reading, they're pretty cool books. Anyway, I digress. So again, why? If you know that you should be doing other things, that you should be focusing on strategy, on sales, on marketing, on looking at the efforts and the results that your team are putting in, if you know that's where you should be spending your time, why are you spending your time unloading boxes? Well, the thinking that causes that to occur is exactly what keeps many, many business owners in jail, where they can't escape. They get to a point where they are trapped. They can't leave their business because if they do, the whole business revolves around them. They haven't given responsibility to individuals so that they can actually run certain divisions of the company without the boss being there. They think that they need to have their fingers in all the pies because heaven forbid those other people on the team can't do it as well as I can. Is any of this sort of gelling? I don't know. But if it is, and if you're seeing the sense of this, the next question you're probably asking is, well, how do I break free? Is it really possible? Well, again, the answer is yes. And how do you do it? Well, it's quite simple, really. And the answer is not what you're thinking. Okay, you've really just got to overcome one thing. And again, that's actually in the title of my book, The Inconvenient Truth About Business Success. And the one thing that business owners don't do, which is the reason why they're not millionaires today. So what's the one thing? Well, it's fear, ladies and gentlemen. Think about all of these thoughts that go through your head. You know that little sucker that's continually talking to you inside your head, saying things like, oh, if I grow and I put someone on, what if I don't get enough sales? Or if I put on a salesperson, what if I get too many sales? What if the economy goes bad? Or the staff do a crappy job? Or maybe this person that I put on will steal all my clients. I could go on and on and on. How many of those sorts of thoughts have gone through your head? Well, they're the exact thoughts that are keeping you exactly where you are, where you're trapped in more or less a business rather than a job. And you need to break free of that, because when you do, that is when you start becoming street smart. Now, don't make the mistake, and don't misinterpret what I'm saying. Don't go and abdicate your role. Say, Ian says, I've got to employ someone. You, dude, you go do that job. I now knight you qualified to do it, and I trust you to do a bloody good job. And yeah, don't let me down, mate. Okay. Again, I see many individuals do that, and that's not what I'm talking about. In fact, I see many businesses, very good businesses, collapse because the CEO has worked their backside off just through willpower to get it to a certain level. They're exhausted. They finally find an individual that perhaps could be their general manager and start to manage things. But again, rather than delegate and hold that general manager accountable and make sure that they prove that they have the ability to manage, they abdicate. Many times they go away for a couple of months or whatever, have a holiday, go, oh, thank the Lord. And they come back and their business is basically busted. Do not make that mistake. Do not abdicate. You must delegate. but you must also be willing to trust your team to do things for you, okay, while you focus on the high-end tasks. You as the owner, this is what you should be getting paid for. You should be getting paid by your company because you are an employee. You are employed by the company. Get it right. You are an employee, okay? You may own the company, but you are an employee of the company. That's why you get all these wonderful tax benefits. Yay! Cool. So knowing that, well, why is the company paying you? What is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? What really justifies the payroll that you're drawing from your organization? Should they sack you? Well, maybe. See, as the owner, what you should be doing is putting your skills into finding the very best team that can do the work for you. You should be putting your efforts into training those teams. You should be putting your efforts into strategy and innovation and leading your team and giving them a reason to follow you. Should be making sure that they've got the resources to get the job done. Should be putting your time and effort into creating the sales, the marketing, the innovations. They're the things that the owner of the organization gets paid for. And that's when you get the real returns, not by unloading boxes out of the crate. Am I making sense? Again, I hope so. So I just want to cover off now, and I'm in closing here. I hope you've been enjoying what I've said to you. I'm just going to review it in a second. But here, ladies and gentlemen, is how you're going to break free, get out of jail, and start to increase your results by a factor of 10. Again, number one, don't believe this BS. Don't believe that inner voice that's going on in your head, okay? Break out of your comfort zone. Get into your growth zone. Have belief in yourself, all right? Just like Ray Kroc from McDonald's did, just like Jack Ma from Alibaba did, Colonel Sanders. I could go on, all right? Look at Steve Jobs, for example. These are people that believed in what they were doing, and so it wasn't the money. None of them had the money. It was the belief in what they were doing that got them through. And so if you believe that you have a great model and you love it, then how about get serious? How about turn it into a business, a profitable, scalable, saleable organization that can run largely without you? Wouldn't that be pretty cool? Well, again, just forget the fear and focus on what you do want, not what you don't want, and develop some $1 million success habits. Okay, here's the secret. When you develop these success habits in your life, very quickly you're going to start to get better results than you've had or you ever thought possible. Now, does it take a bit of discipline? Yeah. I'm going to work out a way. Keep an eye out. I'll put a post up probably tomorrow of my $1 million habits, and I'd like to say that I invented them all. That's what I'd like to say. But I didn't. In fact, I learned what I'm going to put up tomorrow, probably a good 70% of it came from a gentleman I worked with called Brian Tracy. And he taught me the foundation. He used to call it the 1,000% formula. And so now I'm going to put up my Street Smart $1 million success habits. Why? Well, because they've generated millions of dollars for me. So keep an eye out tomorrow for those. We'll get that posted up. But bottom line, for you to actually succeed, all you need to do is set very, very clear goals for yourself. So these are goals that you know you can achieve, and forget the naysayers, put the blinkers on. If you know you got a great business and that you can make it out there, then believe in yourself. Okay, look at those goals morning and night. Believe in yourself. Have a really, really detailed action plan so that if you've got a detailed action plan that you're following step by step, your brain is so focused on carrying out all of those actions that are in that action plan that it won't sway to all of these negative thoughts that can go on in people's heads. It'll just focus on the next thing that's got to get done, the next thing that's got to get done. So you're going to overcome failure. You'll get past the naysayers. You'll find the resources. You'll get a disproportionate share of the available market, and you will nail it. Bottom line, you have then become a street smart business owner, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this made sense to you. Now, if you'd like more guidance, more help, well, it doesn't stop here, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a gift for you, a very special one. So this here is an amazing free gift. What has it got in it? Well, you'll see a copy of my book there, The Inconvenient Truth About Business Success. Because, you know, basically what I've just shared with you tonight, it's pretty inconvenient. What do you mean I've got to overcome my fear? Are you calling me a coward? What do you mean I've got to employ people? Well, all these things that you've got to face, they are inconvenient, are they not? I get it. But in this book, what I do is I step you through how I overcome these challenges. And the systems that I put in place, the strategies that I used, and how it helped me build one of the largest air conditioning companies in Australia, not to mention the other 4 multi-million-dollar companies that I built, how I built the best teams, etc., etc. Grab a copy. I'm told it's a good read. Again, you see the red certificate there, you'll get a copy of that. Now, this is a free gift to you, amazing free gift. All I ask is that you cover the postage, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that's okay. And you don't even cover all the postage. It costs me more than what you chip in. It's about $15 I ask you to chip in. I think the postage is maybe even $18 to $20 because I've got lots of goodies. So giving you a DVD, taking you through the journey of how I broke free and got out of jail. And see that blue certificate. Now, when I do consults and people want to strategize with me, my initial consult rate is $500 an hour. However, if you are lucky enough to have one of those blue certificates, you can request a consultation with me and I will listen to what you have to say and I'll give you my thoughts. Now, they may be valid, they may be not. Maybe you say, man, that was a waste of an hour. But in fact, I can't think of one person who's ever said that to me. They actually get so much value out of the time they spend with me that their businesses skyrocket. In fact, see that success toolkit just there? That's full of case studies of people that, you know, many of them make more money in a month now than they used to make all year. Well, that can be you if you're willing to be street smart, not sheep smart. I hope that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed our time together, and I hope you had another good laugh at my incredible technical skills. So again, in review, what I want you to understand is that you must break out of that cycle where you think you cannot afford to give tasks or roles to other people. It is false economy. It is costing you money. And the reason you're doing it largely is because of fear, because you're worried about the consequences of making it happen. The way to get over that is for you to create a clear goal and a very, very detailed action plan, and you work like the Dickens. Sun up, sun down. While you're building this new business and getting these systems in place, you just put the effort in and make it happen. And very quickly, you're going to find that you've got a real business that is profitable, scalable, and saleable. And you'll be laughing all the way to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have the lifestyle and the finances that you got into business for in the first place. Life is good. So again, now, if you want this free gift, all you need to do, guys, see, this is a copy of my Facebook page, the one you're probably looking at right now. So it says learn more. If you click there, that'll take you to that gift page. Just opt in there and give me your details and we'll send that kit out to you. And again, have a look below where I'm talking to you where it says learn more. And again, that'll take you to the very same place. So guys, again, I hope this has been a benefit. What I've just shared with you does work. I had to go through the pain. I had to break through my fear. I had to break through my doubts. And I had to go against many people that I loved that told me that I was crazy, told me I was a goose, I was a turkey, and I could never do it. And I had to stay true to myself to get to the success that we've enjoyed in our lives. I hope you can do the same. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, next Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Well, the way my technical skills go, you better give me 5 minutes on either side of that. Harley and I will be back again to see you with more words of wisdom. So remember, be street smart, business owner. Do not be a sheep smart business owner. Bye for now.